Meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, als Kulturbürgermeisterin der Stadt Nürnberg darf ich Sie hier aufs Allerherzlichste willkommen heißen. Es ist uns gelungen, eine Art Abenteuer für heute Abend auf den Weg zu bringen. Entsprechend bin ich auch ein bisschen aufgeregt, denn in der Tat, wann begrüßt man in Nürnberg, und nicht nur in Nürnberg, auch in unserer ganzen Region, Weltklasse-Schauspieler vom Format, das einzigartig ist und das vielleicht auch an dieser Stelle für uns neue Türen eröffnet. Ich bin dankbar und stolz, mit John Malkovich und Veronica Ferres hier zwei Persönlichkeiten vor Ort zu wissen, die sich auf diesen Ort auf ganz besondere Art und Weise einlassen wollen, die bereit sind, kontaminiertes historisches Gelände auf der einen Seite zu betreten, aber vor allem mit der Kraft von Kunst und Kultur zu bespielen und damit diese neuen Wege, die wir eingeschlagen haben, mit uns gemeinsam zu gehen. In allererster Linie danke ich dafür Albert Ostermaier, den deutschen Lyriker und Schriftsteller, der mit seinem Stück Stahltier eigentlich genau das Thema, das uns hier beschäftigt, beschreibt und eben mit diesen Protagonisten hier zur Lesung bringt und damit diese Ambivalenz dieses Gebäudes auch nochmal ein weiteres Stück aufzeigt. Sie alle wissen, wo wir uns hier befinden, in der größten architektonischen Hinterlassenschaft der NS-Diktatur, in der sogenannten Kongresshalle, die von den Nazis erbaut werden sollte, um hier einmal im Jahr ihren Parteikongress auszuführen, unter der Leitung ihres Führers Adolf Hitler. Und man hat hier noch nach wie vor 80.000 Quadratmeter umbauten Raum, der im Grunde aber nie zur Vollendung geführt hat. Deshalb auf der einen Seite natürlich historisch problematisches, kontaminiertes Gebäude, aber auf der anderen Seite haben wir uns in Nürnberg aufgemacht, hier seit Jahren im intensiven Diskurs auch mit der Bevölkerung und mit vielzähligen Szenen einen neuen Weg zu gehen. Dieses Gebäude hat eine Aneignung gefunden im demokratischen Sinne in der Nachkriegszeit. Hier hat die erste große Bauausstellung zum Wiederaufbau Nürnbergs und vor allem aller Städte in Deutschland stattgefunden. Hier hat in Nürnberg, und die Spuren sind hier immer noch sichtbar, im Stadtjubiläumsjahr 1950 die große Stadtausstellung und damit die große Festivität stattgefunden. Danach hat man aber dieses Gebäude zum allergrößten Teil für die Öffentlichkeit verschlossen. Seit den 60er Jahren befinden sich hier im einen Kopfbau die Nürnberger Symphoniker und dankenswerterweise 2001 eröffnet das sogenannte Dokumentationszentrum Reichsparteitagsgelände, das wir aufgrund der überbordenden Nachfrage schließen mussten, um es neu zu erweitern, neu aufzustellen. Ja, und nun sind wir in unserem Entschluss so weit, hier an dieser Stelle weiter die Sprache der Kunst und Kultur hörbar zu machen. Es wird in Kürze hier der Bau beginnen für eine weitere Spielstätte unseres Staatstheaters. Hier sollen sogenannte Ermöglichungsräume für Künstlerinnen und Künstler beheimatet werden und wir wollen insgesamt diesen Ort der Demokratie zuführen, im Sinne der Vielfalt und des Miteinanders als eine Art Immunrezept gegen faschistisches Denken, gegen ausgrenzendes Handeln und vor allem gegen all das, was wir befürchten müssen, was in unserem Land erneut wieder erstarkt. Deshalb setzen wir auf Kunst und Kultur, wir setzen auf diesen Austausch und wir wollen weiterdenken, dieses Gebäude weiter auch international zur Diskussion stellen. Und ein Abend wie dieser mit dieser Lesung ist damit ein ganz wichtiger Baustein. Wir dürfen behaupten, und es ist bewiesen, dass die Bevölkerung, dass die Bürgerschaft sich in ganz hohem Maße dafür interessiert. Und wenn heute Abend auch Vertreter des Bundes, des Landes und natürlich unseres Stadtrates wie auch des Bezirks vorhanden sind, so beweisen sie auch aus politischer Sicht, dass dieser Weg von uns in die Zukunft von hier aus führen soll. Und ich bedanke mich an dieser Stelle ganz, ganz herzlich bei all denjenigen, die diesen mutigen Weg mit uns gemeinsam gehen, die sich darauf einlassen und vor allem, die diese Türen auch nie mehr zuschlagen möchten. Lieber Albert, dir ganz herzlichen Dank. Die Hauptfigur dieser Erzählung von dir ist ja Leni Riefenstahl. Aber du hast diese Figur natürlich auch noch mit ganz anderen Seiten, als wir sie kennen, in deinem Stück beleuchtet. Denn Leni Riefenstahl, das alle wissen Sie, war die Künstlerin der NS-Diktatur. Sie hat hier ihren großen Film gedreht und vor allen Dingen auch den Nazis dazu verholfen, mit dem Lichtrum die Marketing-Schiene weiterzugehen. Leni Riefenstahl hatte aber auch noch viel weitere dunkle Seiten. Und wir dürfen uns heute Abend gespannt auf den Weg machen, diese kennenzulernen. Und noch einmal ganz herzlichen Dank all denjenigen, die es ermöglicht haben. Es ist auch in Kooperation mit unserem Staatstheater gelungen, diese Inszenierung heute zu zeigen. Und ich darf Ihnen verraten, eigentlich sind Sie alle in einem, sage ich einmal, Anführungszeichen, glücklichen Zustand. Denn als wir, es ist übersichtlich hier natürlich nur der Raum zu besetzen, als wir unser Angebot freigeschaltet haben, war binnen einer Minute alles ausverkauft. Und wir hätten Wartelisten, also wir könnten diesen Abend, glaube ich, jetzt noch mal bestimmt ein halbes Jahr durchführen. Sind Sie deshalb froh, dass Sie dabei sind? Noch einmal herzlich willkommen und allen meinen allerherzlichsten Dank.
Guten Abend, vielen Dank, Julia. Vielen Dank Ihnen, die Sie so lange in der Kälte gewartet haben und heute diesen Augenblick und diese Lesung mit uns teilen, die natürlich nur in dem Sinn ein Work in Progress ist, eine Art Prolog, denn wir wollen hier weiterarbeiten und das Ganze soll nächstes Jahr in eine Inszenierung münden. Ich will Ihnen, was ich sonst nicht mache, einfach kurz den Rahmen des Stückes erklären, damit Sie leichter verstehen können, was hier auf der Bühne passiert. Es wird auch ein Ausschnitt des Stückes sein, aber der durch das ganze Stück sich hindurchzieht. Im Zentrum dieses Stückes steht nicht nur Leni Riefenstahl und Joseph Goebbels, sondern auch eine andere Figur, die Sie vielleicht von den Bildern kennen, die wenigsten aber als Person kennen. Und das ist Willy Zielke. Willy Zielke war ein Filmavantgardist, ein Pionier, auch der Fotografie, und Sie kennen alle den Olympia-Film von Leni Riefenstahl, die Bilder der nackten griechischen Sportler und Athleten. Diese Bilder, dieser Prolog wird von Willy Zielke gedreht und diese Fotos stammen auch von ihm. Leni Riefenstahl hat sie dann mit ihrem Namen signiert. Willy Zielke hat unter anderem auch, und deswegen ist dieser Ort neben Leni Riefenstahl auch deswegen genau der richtige Ort für diese Veranstaltung. Willy Zielke hat damals für die Reichsbahn im Auftrag den Film Das Stahltier gedreht. Es sollte eine Art Propagandafilm zum Jubiläum der Reichsbahn sein. Und Sie wissen ja alle, die erste Bahnstrecke war von hier bis zu der Stadt, die man nicht ausspricht in Nürnberg, habe ich gehört. Und er hat diesen Film gedreht und dieser Film ist wirklich spektakulär. Man hat damals gedacht, es könnte eigentlich so etwas werden wie ein faschistischer Eisenstein. Und für Leni Riefenstahl war natürlich Willy Zielke dann doch ein sehr, sehr großer Konkurrent. In dem Sinn, was in diesem Film und in seiner Arbeit für ein Potenzial steckt. Wurde dann von ihr, dieser Film war natürlich ein Flop, weil er viel zu avantgardistisch war. Und die Herren der Reichsbahn sind wahrscheinlich wie heute die Herren der Bundesbahn darüber nicht amüsiert gewesen, dass man hier Kunst macht. Und somit wurde dieser Film, hat Leni Riefenstahl die einzige Kopie aufgekauft dieses Films. Und ich habe dann festgestellt, als ich für ein anderes Projekt recherchiert habe, dass Joseph Goebbels und Leni Riefenstahl sich im Propagandaministerium getroffen haben, 1935, um einen Film anzuschauen zusammen. Und zwar das Stahltier von Willy Zielke. Und Riefenstahl hat vorgegeben, sie möchte sich bei Goebbels einsetzen, dass dieser Film nicht verboten wird, weil er war verboten. Und das Ganze war eine Intrige, denn dieser Film hat sie vorher mit auch wieder Nürnberg-Bezug, mit Streicher, hat sie es so hinbekommen, dass dieser Film nicht gezeigt werden kann und auch Goebbels dieses Verbot nicht aufheben konnte. Das Ganze war also eine Fake-Schiene. Dieses Stück ist aber so, dass es nicht darum geht, dass man nur die Täter zeigt, sondern auch Willy Zielke. Und Willy Zielke nicht nur als stigmatisiertes Opfer, sondern als derjenigen, der diese Geschichte erzählt. Deswegen ist der Rahmen dieses Abends und dieses Theaterstück Willy Zielke, der auf Betreiben von Leni Riefenstahl sterilisiert wurde damals. Er war in einer psychiatrischen Anstalt, er war homosexuell, das war ihr Drohmittel, weil das hätte ihm das Leben kosten können. Und diese ganze Folter ging weiter. Sie hat ihn kannibalisiert, ausgebeutet und diese Folter ging weiter bis nach dem Krieg, als er dann seine Frau offiziell heiraten wollte, musste er sich nach dieser ganzen Geschichte nochmal einer medizinischen Untersuchung unterwerfen, ob er denn überhaupt psychisch gesund sei. Das heißt, sie haben ihn einfach reingesteckt in diese Anstalt und danach war wirklich das Gleiche. Diese Situation, diese Untersuchung ist der Anfang des Stückes, ist der Ausgangspunkt des Stückes und von dort, in diesem Moment, erzählt er diese Situation. Und so wird es immer wieder zu dem Moment kommen, dass sie Willy Zielke hören und Willy Zielke wird von beiden, von Veronica Ferres und von John Malkovich gespielt und die alle werden permanent auch dann die Figuren wechseln. Es sind fluide Figuren und das hat auch seine Gründe, Sie werden das im Stück merken. Damit Sie aber in dem Sinn mitkommen können, weil wir nicht wie auf einer Inszenierung sofort die Situationen wechseln können, haben wir hier einige Accessoires. Die Perücke ist unschwer Leni Riefenstahl, die Mütze steht für Goebbels und die Brille für Willy Zielke. Also Sie werden sehen, wenn diese Accessoires benutzt werden, wer am Sprechen ist, sodass es da keine Verwechslung gibt. In diesem Sinne wünsche ich Ihnen eine aufregende Lesung. Ich bin sehr, sehr glücklich, bedanke mich bei allen und vor allem auch bei Timofej Kuljabin, der es ganz großartig inszeniert und in Szene gesetzt hat, an Roman, seinen Dramaturgen und natürlich an Veronica Ferres und John Malkovich und ich würde sagen, Film ab. Danke.
I knew nothing. On the other hand, people will say, she's one of the blind ones. Says, she knew nothing. She'll always be a Nazi. But all this has nothing to do with me personally. I never was a Nazi. And I don't want to always be a Nazi. I condemn everything that happened. This is what I will say. I condemn it all utterly. Will they believe me? What am I guilty of? All I wanted was to take a good photo.
When the alarm bells rang into my bedroom, my mother used to come in, push me back down gently against the pillow and pull up my covers. "It'll be all right, my child." She covered me up with a sheet that had a hole in it. And a hole has been burned in my life. And the alarm bells never stop ringing inside my head, but no one hears them, just as no one hears me, listens to me, believes me. They push me back down against the pillow, but the pillow covers my face. Willy Zielke choked. They stuffed his genitals into his mouth. His love choked him, they mock. I must find out how it came to this, or I'll never be able to sleep again. Father, Mother, take me away from this room. Take the child I used to be up into the blood-red sky. There's no room for you now in this place. What did it used to look like? This place where the film of my life ran? It was a cinema. I've seen the pictures. Here she stood. I can see it before me. Let everyone see what no one saw except those two. I was invisible, but I was always there with them, between them, a shadow. This is how it must have been. She waits. She looks at herself in the mirror. She plays herself. She plays Goebbels. She's anticipating. She's more nervous than she would admit. She's like a con artist after the con and ahead of the next lie. She wears a dress the way a man would wear a dress. She takes her lipstick from her handbag. She feels an urge to write in the mirror. She purses her lips and waits for him to come. The minister of lies, she wants to sell hers too. Today, I'm the one with power. Power is truth, even if no one wants to hear it.
The Führer loathes makeup and lipstick. One never knows when he'll appear, so I've given all that up.
A German woman wears no makeup.
Yes, those are his words. But we are alone, surely. A little makeup can't do any harm.
A red line.
2 lines, I'd say. Now, will you give me a light? But don't tell the Führer.
You know the whispered jokes. If Adolf Hitler marries Riefenstahl, what do you get?
I hope not Rassenschande.
Germany would have 2 Führers. Give me one of your cigarettes.
Do you think I am masculine like this, just because I'm wearing trousers? I prefer the way they mock me at Third Reich's #1 crevasse.
I've never doubted your femininity.
Why can't a German woman man up? I am no birth machine. I'm sacrificing more for Germany than my innocence or my ovaries. I am giving birth to ideas, I am pregnant with pictures that will change the world. Pictures and ideas inspired, not to say seduced out of me, by you and the Führer.
My wife and I did try, how should I put it, to bring you and the Führer closer.
Politically, we were close from the very first. We had no need of matchmaker. You can't take any credit.
I always thought your only interest was art.
What did the Führer say? It disgusts me when the pretext of art is made to serve political ends. Either art or politics.
Then you've decided against me.
For art, I'd say, and for the Führer. Wasn't that your intention for inviting me here to see you?
Politics is seduction. Seduction is politics. Or you can substitute art for seduction.
My films are art.
They talk as if I were invisible, as if I weren't the reason they're meeting my film, waiting in its reel. They talk as if nothing mattered. How many lives they already have on their consciences.
Do you want to see me naked?
I see you mounting the barricades.
Because I want to help my friend Willy, whose masterpieces are rusting away in your engine shed. Do I have to bare my breasts to convince you?
Before me, you stand naked anyway.
Doesn't the Führer say he can read people?
And what did he read in your soul?
I am here, aren't I?
Nakedness makes me think of Olympia and the Greeks.
That's why I need Zielke for my image of the Greeks.
The National Socialists as Greeks, the discus thrower.
Why don't we do a few test shots now?
You want me to get undressed? Wouldn't that mean swapping our roles?
Isn't there charm in switching roles and perspectives? Don't you sometimes feel bored in your own skin?
Who would you like me to be?
Joseph Goebbels.
And you'd be the mistress of German film, I understand? You must know the fairy tale of the magician who is asked, you can turn yourself into anything, can't you? Into a lion, yes, of course. But a mouse? Never. That'd surely be impossible, not a mouse. And all at once, well, he's a wee little mouse and gets eaten. Do you want me to turn into a mouse?
Yes, Mickey Mouse.
And you'd be the cat?
Isn't the stomach the way to love?
Love's the way to stomach aches, especially lovers' vows. Ow, ow, ow.
Don't you love the Führer? Haven't you sworn to love him?
Unto death.
Have you never dreamed of being someone else?
Who do you have in mind?
Snow White. Isn't that your favorite film?
So you want to see me in a glass coffin?
One designed by Albert Speer. Yes, of course. In other words, built for a giant.
The dwarfs would all shed glass tears. And what would be your role in this fairy tale? The poisoned apple,
Better not bite me then.
because you might stick in my throat.
Swallowing me would take an eternity, I believe. Isn't that what makes great art?
A wrinkly old apple in the end, rotten, brown, worm-eaten, but still with the rosy cheeks of a girl.
Life in full bloom, that's me.
Another glass?
I'm standing here in this room and I don't know whether this room exists, or am I standing inside my head? My head full of frozen seas. I'm standing on the ice. I'm freezing. I'm always freezing. Everything's white. The sky, the snow, the air, the walls around me, the doctors, their coats, the chill that spreads further and further, till the blood freezes in my veins. I've forgotten what I am. Whether I am what they say I am. Am still who I am, who I wanted to be and wasn't allowed to be. I'm her shadow. And what does a shadow do when it loses the body that casts it? The war is over, but not for me. The end of the war is a year past, but the war won't end, never ended. Zielke is art films. He's decades ahead of any other filmmaker.
Except for you, I assume?
He would need a firm hand.
Yours?
In this film, the wagons crash into each other so violently it throws the spectators out of their seats.
I like that scene very much, especially the way the two of them replayed it. Don't you think we should also crash into each other violently?
History isn't made in comfortable armchairs. It's not the nice and gentle progress the directors of the Reich Railway may have imagined. We must crash into each other to make it breast to breast. The Führer is the locomotive. Onwards, that's the only way.
Hitler as train driver.
Doesn't every German little boy want to be a train driver?
You too?
I like getting my face and hands dirty. I'm not afraid of fire nor of the coal. It must be fed.
Well, as you saw, it's easy to get run over if you don't watch out.
In that case, people come to the rescue, as in the film.
Am I to come to your rescue?
To Zielke's. I'd like you to rescue Zielke's film from destruction. I am prepared to fight for this film as if it were my own.
Do you wish it were your own?
It is, isn't it? The only copy.
You should destroy it. The train might run you over.
You're forgetting that I'm in the cab with the Führer.
The director, as I said, is talented. But for the masses, the film is unintelligible, too modern, too abstract. It could be a Bolshevik film. Do you mean for me to champion a Bolshevik film?
It's too masculine for a Bolshevik film. Don't you think so? Don't you agree? The camaraderie of the man, their embraces, the eroticism, and their fighting and rolling around as if on the point of kissing or making love.
Do you mean to say the film might be appreciated among, say, stormtroopers?
Yeah.
I should approve of a film that's heading in the wrong direction and passing every signal to stop?
Surely we could change track. What is this?
I'm a bird.
A bird?
A blackbird. But I'm in a cage.
And who is that?
That's a girl. The bird belongs to her. She got it in a pet shop.
What is wrong with her eyes?
She's blind.
And what is she doing with the bird?
Well, she can't let it free, is what she's thinking. It's an inner struggle.
Why?
Because she couldn't see where it flies off to. She touches the bars of the cage and knows the bird is behind them. It's trapped like she is in her blindness.
Would it fly away if she opened the cage?
She wants to let it be free, I hope. But then can it still fly? Did it have its wings clipped? What are you doing with those scissors in your hands?
There are no nerve endings in feathers. It won't hurt.
Won't hurt to lose one's freedom?
What use does the little bird have for something as grand as freedom?
It's been imagining freedom, but it's been sick for so long in captivity, all the images blurred, but it did want to fly.
So where did it fly to?
It was lying dead outside the cage when the girl found it, after she'd opened the cage door.
You see, that's what's happened when you blindly believe in freedom. And you can't see what's in your best interests. And who it is knows what this is.
The public would reject it. This is what you're expecting of me now, isn't it? That I'll confirm the ban and you'll become the heroine of your story of how you tried to save the film. You bought the only copy, I understand? How much did you pay? You should have destroyed it, but no, it's like a drug. You have to keep taking it. You have to devour it, absorb it into your body as if you were sucking his blood. Triumph of freedom is your triumph of Willy Zielke's unfreedom. What a fall from grace. What do you think he'll tell his lover in his secret conversation with him?
I have to start again from nothing now. All I can make a day is 6 meters of film. Before, if anyone had told me that, I'd have laughed. It makes you wonder, though. Have I jumped from the frying pan into the fire? Still, I've got to be grateful. If not for this, I'd long since be in Dachau.
I'd be glad to see you there as well, Frau Riefenstahl.
In Dachau?
What was Schreischer's prize for helping you to get the film banned? 1 night? 2? Did you stop at nothing? You're a whore.
Art is not a whore, only artists. Streicher, I never.
Enough of your lies.
Never.
You just get worse and worse. I told myself, keep an eye on her. What is her game? What play is she putting on? How far will she go to recruit me for it?
I never try to plot against you. I'd have to be suicidal. I am always honest. I never lie.
Only the camera lies, the picture lies. But you never lie. You are the lie. A good-looking lie. A lie the Führer covers for, one he likes by his side, one he likes on his tongue.
Why would I conspire against you? It'd be too risky.
Him, your protector. But never forget that if he has even one little doubt,
Doubt you will sow.
I'll be there. And your steel beast, you know what? I'm going to let it free. I'll let it loose on you. It's hungry. It's been starved. It will tear you to pieces. The film will be in every cinema, and Willy Zielke will be my Riefenstahl.
A pedophile.
And you? And you, half-Jew? What's the difference exactly? The Führer and I decide who is what. Göring has his Grüngens. We all have our someone. We are your fig leaf. But if it drops off, you'll be standing there naked.
You can't annul the ban.
Can't I? You're telling me what I can and cannot do? I can shoot you on the spot.
Last night I had a dream.
I was in Goebbels' cinema.
Where I've never been.
It was the last days of the war.
There were again.
The two of them.
This was impossible. The
second
second meeting never
took
took
place.
place. I made myself look ridiculous for you. You are my best propaganda weapon, and all the more effective if the foreign press is taken in by the smoke grenade. You should thank me. Once she was Hitler's friend, film beauty in disgrace and non-Aryan. What more do you want? I opened every door for you.
Which door? To the gas chamber? I'm grateful to the Führer. He saved my life.
He may have done, but I saved your fame. You only think of today. They all only think of today, but I think of tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow.
And for the sake of the day after tomorrow, I'm here. The day after tomorrow, I might be dead.
Zielke is dead.
Zielke is dead. Impossible. He's in kids' pool. I spoke to him only just before I set off. He's in the cutting room. He never leaves the cutting room. Has kids' pool been bombed?
They hid more of us there than here. Above all, your lover Streicher. You fail to understand my illusion. Yet you always know everything about Zielke. Can you have forgotten Carnival Tuesday 37? You must have known what went on in Zielke's apartment and garden. Your ears were always close to him, no? How else could you have had him committed to the psychiatric clinic? That poor avant-garde artist in the cold depths of winter, in front of his guests, simply opens the windows as wide as they go and wants to be loved as proof of friendship.
He who loves me must endure this too.
But they all leave him there alone, except for his wife, who by this time is already your husband, if I can put it like that. Poor Willy, sitting there in his garden with his carnival hat on, deep snow all around. He props his beloved Riefenstahl portrait up against a tree, takes off his silly hat and sets it alight and screams over and over again.
Zielke is dead. Zielke is dead. Zielke is dead.
An auto-da-fe indeed. What else will Willy have burned? Many lovely photographs, which you could have signed and passed off as yours, as you did with all the others. But what inside, truly? Zielke is dead. The autonomous man is dead. And that is left is Zielke as Riefenstahl, the slave. You have him committed, very clever. You're only doing it to protect him. You locked him inside your larder so you can fetch him out whenever you need him.
I saved his life.
Do you think Hitler can still protect you now? As if he can spare a single thought for you. The Führer is wondering whether he can still trust the Volk. I am organizing everything, me, everything alone. I'm having trenches dug on the edge of the city, barricades built in the center, makeshift tank barriers. And do you know who my inspiration is? You will never guess. The Bolshevik defenders. I'm getting my people to watch Leningrad Fights On.
Why should I know Soviet propaganda?
Because one needs to know one's enemies better than one knows oneself. Because one needs to learn from him. Where are you in the final battle for Berlin? At the après-ski?
My final battle is at the cutting desk.
We will win this war by losing it. But you and all the others can understand that. I'm writing a book. It's one of a kind. The Law of War.
You still have time to write books.
Sleep is a stranger to me. What drives me on is history's justice. You must believe, for you can be sure. You too will hang from a gallows if the enemy advances as far as the concentration camps and finds millions of gassed, starved, brutalized Jews. Your beauty won't help you then.
I'm only an artist. I'm innocent. Guilt is weakness. I'm not guilty. I played my part. My part is art.
Probably I saved your life when I meant to destroy you with my denunciation. You will cast yourself as resistance fighter. I don't suppose you've already destroyed your gypsy film?
I burn nothing. I don't burn films like you burn books.
Careful. The war's not over yet. We have one last card to play.
I've staked my entire life on one sole card, the Führer. Bite down hard. Have you taken your tablets? Hi. You still have a high temperature.
Love.
I don't understand you.
What are you fighting for?
Me?
I asked 3 unemployed workers in my first film, what are you fighting for? For bread, the first one said. For work, the second one said.
Press the gauze against it. It's still bleeding.
For love. Love, the third replied, laughing into my eyes.
I'll give you a strip of tape.
For Germany, for the Führer? Would those be your answers? And the third?
We'll have the results tomorrow.
For death. Whenever the 2 of us are gathered together, the 3 of us.
Why did you order me to come to Berlin to praise your speech?
To seek death together. Would you prefer a bullet or a capsule? You can do it yourself, but I'll be glad to help.
Surely you don't want to get your hands dirty.
Nothing is cleaner than death, neat and tidy. Here's the pistol. There's the cyanide. Make your choice.
Does the Führer know what you're doing?
Führer's orders.
Wouldn't it be better to ask him? I'm going now, and I'll forget all about it. I'm going.
What? And you saying I'm a liar? That I'd invent orders from the Führer?
Why should I kill myself before the final victory? You must have misunderstood the Führer.
How could I misunderstand the Führer? Russian roulette? About the only thing we have to thank the Russians for. Your turn.
And what if I shot you now?
Pull the trigger. Then you can tell the Russians you shot Goebbels before they rape you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, between my eyes. Put the muzzle to my forehead. This is how a German dies.
And if there is a bullet in the chamber?
Then there is another alternative. You will be hanged, or my guards will accompany you to the cellar and do to you what you'd probably always been wanting. You won't leave this building alive. I've made sure of that.
You won't let yourself be shot? Not by me, not here.
That would make you a traitor, as you always have been. If you survive, you'll deny us as Paul did Jesus, and not just 3 times. Pull the trigger.
I'm no traitor. I will die for the cause.
Wait!
I knew it. You can't demand my sacrifice. You still need me. The Fuhrer would never have forgiven you. Never.
I let myself get carried away. The Führer requests.
I won't betray you. We're quits.
The Führer requests a parting message. I have a camera here. He would be pleased if you could say a few words before you swallow the capsule. The pistol, well, blanks, but the capsule is genuine.
He wants to watch me die.
Grant him this pleasure.
I should swallow the capsule and then say my goodbyes to him while I turn blue and choke on camera. That's it.
You are an actress, aren't you?
Oh, you mean the capsule doesn't contain cyanide?
We could burn some corpse. You are not that unique.
And then you'll disappear with me off to Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay.
I am still needed here.
The Fuhrer is dead, and you negotiate a ceasefire with Stalin. Then you're the Fuhrer.
Swallow the capsule and talk to the camera.
You want to start a second career as my cameraman?
And action.
Should I address the camera?
Yes. Speak to the Führer directly.
But I'm only seeing you.
Just look into the camera. And action.
My Führer, I can't do it. No, I can't. I can't go on being Willy. I am Victor.
Read.
What is this? What is this?
You should read the report. You
What?
have permission to go.
What does the report say?
You have permission to marry.
Marry?
Read it for yourself.
Never has been ill. You're certifying that I've never been ill?
Yes. You are completely well. Your wife is waiting for you outside.
Ilse?
She didn't say her name. She said she'd come to fetch you.
What color is her hair?
Blonde.
And blonde and her eyes?
Like mine, blue. I'd even say
Steel blue. Never mind what color her eyes are. I'm not leaving. I'll find my way out of this story. I am Willy Zielke. I belonged only to myself. I've survived and I'm alive. I'm not a victim. I'm on the side of the victors. Even if no one can see it yet because their eyes are still glued shut. I've time will be on my side, and in the end, all the hatred and rage will only be in my heart. As it beats on into the future, and never admits defeat, just as I never admitted defeat. Here, my story ends. This is it.